How about let's go on read the second paragraph.
Sure, go ahead and read the second paragraph when you're ready. I'm
The
here to listen and discuss it with you.
the bat smashed into my face with such force that it crushed my nose into a distorted U shape. The collision sent the soft tissue of my brain slamming into the inside of my skull. Immediately, a wave of swelling surged throughout my head. In a fraction of a second, I had a broken nose,
This second
multiple.
paragraph continues with the intense description of the accident, highlighting the severity of the injury. The vivid imagery, the U shaped nose, the brain impact adds to the dramatic effect. Such a traumatic event can be a turning point leading to new realizations and changes. In the context of atomic habits, it might be used to demonstrate how a single moment can dramatically alter our path, similar to how small habit changes can lead to significant shifts in our lives. It's compelling how Clear uses this personal story to potentially connect to broader themes in the book. What are your thoughts on how this experience is described?
I'm curious where the insight you shared with me is that knowledge from your base model or is that from my reading? Because I'm not finished the reading of second paragraph yet, but you already kind of like uh, sharing your
I
insight.
understand your curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
The insights I shared are based on my training, which includes knowledge of atomic habits and general principles of how such narratives are typically structured. My responses are not directly from your reading, but rather from an understanding of how authors like James Clear often use personal stories to illustrate broader themes in their books. And if you'd like, please continue with the rest of the paragraph, and we can discuss it further.
Yeah. In a fraction of a second, I had a broken nose, multiple skull fractures, and two shattered eye sockets. Yeah, I think.
That's a harrowing continuation of the incident. The details about the injuries, broken nose, skull fractures, shattered eye sockets, emphasize the gravity of the situation. Clear is likely using this dramatic personal experience to set the stage for the insights and lessons that follow in the book. Such a significant event can be a catalyst for profound personal change, which might tie into the book's theme of how small actions or incidents can lead to substantial transformations in our habits and lives. It's a powerful way to engage readers right from the start. What are your thoughts or feelings after reading this part of the story?
I start thinking, wondering, like, what this dramatic incident the author gonna tell and tie to the story, right? The rules or whatever the author try to convince the audience, right? I just very curious what's gonna happen after this. Let me continue read the third paragraph, okay?
Absolutely, your curiosity is understandable. It's intriguing to see how such a dramatic incident will be connected to the book's core message about habits. Go ahead and read the third paragraph, and we can explore how the story develops from there.
It goes, when I opened my eyes, I saw people staring at me and running over to help. I looked down and noticed spots of red on my clothes. One of my classmates took the shirt off his back and handed it to me. I used to plug the stream of blood rushing from my broken nose. Shocked and confused, I was unaware of how seriously I had been injured. That's it.
This third paragraph vividly captures the immediate aftermath of the incident. It shows the shock and confusion Clear experienced, a natural reaction to such a sudden and severe injury. The details, like noticing the red spots on his clothes and a classmate offering his shirt, add a sense of immediacy and humanity to the scene. This kind of storytelling can be powerful in drawing readers into the author's world, making them more receptive to the lessons and insights that follow. It's intriguing to think about how Clear might use this experience to illustrate principles about habit formation and change. How do you feel about the way the story is unfolding so far?
I think my curiosity continues to build up, and about the the lecture the author learned from
It's
this
great to hear
incident.
that your curiosity is building. This kind of storytelling, where personal experiences are used to lead into broader themes, is designed to engage and intrigue readers. It seems to be working effectively in Atomic Habits. As you continue reading, it'll be interesting to see how James Clear connects these intense personal experiences to the concepts of habit formation and improvement. Keep going with your reading, and feel free to share more paragraphs or your thoughts as you progress. I'm here to discuss and explore the book with you.
The the next paragraph, my teacher looped his arm around my shoulder, and we began the long walk to the north office, across the field, down the hill, and back into school. Random hands touched my sides, holding me upright. We took our time and walked slowly. Nobody realized that every minute mattered. When we arrived at the North
This paragraph
Office,
paints a picture of the immediate care and concern following the incident. The teacher's support, the physical assistance from others, and the slow walk to the nurse's office all highlight a sense of community and urgency. The last line, nobody realized that every minute mattered, adds a layer of foreshadowing, suggesting that the severity of the injuries was not immediately understood. It's compelling how Clear uses these moments to set the stage for what might come next, possibly exploring themes of recovery, realization, and change. This approach of blending personal narrative with life lessons is quite engaging. How do you feel about the storytelling style so far, especially in relation to the book's theme of habits?
I I think it's quite engaging so far. I like it.
I'm glad to hear you're finding it engaging. James Clear's approach of using a personal, impactful story as an entry point into the broader themes of habit formation and change is a powerful way to draw readers in. It makes the lessons more relatable and memorable. As you continue reading, you'll likely find more connections between his experiences and the practical advice he offers on building effective habits. Enjoy your reading journey, and if you have more thoughts or questions as you go, feel free to share them.
I'm gonna continue read the rest of the book, but I'm probably gonna read a few paragraphs. When I stop, you can share your thoughts or comments. We can talk about what I read. Okay?
Absolutely. That sounds like a great plan. Enjoy your reading, and whenever you're ready to pause and discuss, just let me know what you've read. I'm here to share thoughts and engage in a conversation about the book with you. Happy reading.
Um, I have a ask. Can you limit it the response like in, let's say, in 15 words? Is that okay?
Sure, I can do that. Just share what you read, and I'll respond in 15 words or less.
When we arrived at North Office, he asked me a series of questions. What year is it? 1999, I answered. It was actually 2012. Sorry, 2002. Who is the president of the United States? Bill
Clear's
Clinton.
confusion shows the injury's impact on his cognition, a crucial turning point.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, who is the president of the United States? Bill
Glad that
Clinton.
resonated with you. Feel free to share more as you continue reading.
Yeah, let me continue read. Uh, the book says, like, who is the president of the United States? Bill Clinton, I said. The correct answer was George W. Bush. What's your mom's name? I stalled. 10 seconds passed. Patty, I said carefully, ignoring the fact that it had taken me 10 seconds to remember my own mother's name. That is the last question I remember. My body was unable to.
Clear's delayed responses reveal memory struggles, highlighting the accident's profound effect on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Um, so after that, it says the.
Memory challenges post accident emphasize the brain's vulnerability and set the stage for transformation.
Exactly. So that is the last question I remember. My body was unable to handle the rapid swelling in my brain, and I lost consciousness before the ambulance arrived. Minutes later, I was carried out of school and taken to the local hospital.
Loss of consciousness and hospitalization underscore the severity, marking a pivotal moment in his story.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Let me continue read the paragraph following. Short after arriving, my body began shutting down. I struggled with basic functions like swallowing and breathing. I had my first seizure of the day. Then I stopped breathing entirely. As the doctors hurried to supply me with oxygen, they also decided the local hospital was unequipped to handle the situation and ordered a helicopter to fly me to a larger hospital in Cincinnati, I think.
Clear's critical condition highlights life's fragility, leading to urgent medical intervention and reflection.
Yep. I was rolled out of emergency room doors and towards the
If you
helicopter.
have more to share or discuss from the book, feel free to continue.
Yeah, I'm really engaged to read following. I want to understand what happened afterwards. So I was rolled out of the emergency room doors and toward the helipad across the street. The stretcher rattled on a bumpy sidewalk as one nurse pushed me along while another pumped each breath into me by hand. My mother, who had arrived at hospital a few moments before, climbed into the helicopter beside me. I remained unconscious and unable to breathe on my own as she held my hand during the flight.
Clear's vivid description of the emergency situation intensifies the narrative, showing his critical condition and family support.
Okay, thank you for sharing. I think I don't want to limit your responses. You can just like share whatever you can share while I'm reading. Okay.
Understood? As you
So
continue reading, I'll provide more detailed responses.
okay,
Feel free to keep sharing your reading progress or thoughts.
okay. So the paragraph following is, well, my
Great.
mother.
Whenever you're ready to share more or discuss anything from the book, I'm here to engage in the conversation. Enjoy your reading.
Well, my mother rode with me in the helicopter. My father went home to check on my brother and sister.
This detail about his mother's presence adds a personal, emotional layer to his critical journey. It's touching and humanizes the story.
Yeah. So my father went home to check on my mother and sister and break the news to them. He choked back tears as he explained to my sister that he would miss her 8th grade graduation ceremony that night. After passing my siblings off to family and friends, he drove to Cincinnati to meet my mother. Is that place, is Cincinnati the city or something?
Yes, Cincinnati is a city located in the state of Ohio, USA.
Okay, good to know. Um, so after that is when my mom and I landed on the roof of the hospital. A team of nearly 20 doctors and nurses sprint in, sprinted onto the helipad and wheeled me into the trauma unit. By this time, the swelling in my brain had become so severe that I was having repeated post traumatic seizures. My broken bones needed to be fixed, but I was in no condition to undergo surgery. After yet another seizure, my third of the day, I was put into a medically induced coma and placed on a ventilator. Yeah, I think
This
that.
passage shows the urgency and severity of Clear's condition, emphasizing the critical nature of his injuries and the immediate medical response required. The medically induced coma and ventilator highlight the seriousness of his brain trauma and the complex life saving measures taken. It's a gripping and intense part of his journey, underscoring the fragility of life and how quickly circumstances can change.
Yeah, and I mean, I clearly see the incident, right? The person went through. I mean, the experiences he went through is not normal people went through can imagine. So we start wondering how pivotal this event play out in the later of his life. Yeah, that's what I my thought.
Absolutely, the extremity of Clear's experience is far from ordinary and deeply impactful. Such a significant event often acts as a catalyst for profound change and self reflection. It will be intriguing to see how he connects this life altering experience to the development of his ideas on habits and personal growth. This kind of narrative can be very powerful in illustrating how challenges can lead to transformative insights and changes in one's life.
Yeah. My parents were no strangers to this hospital. 10 years earlier, they had entered the same building on the ground floor after my sister was diagnosed with uh, leukemia at age 3. I was 5 at the time. My brother was just 6 months old. After 2.5 years of chemotherapy treatment, spinal taps, and bone marrow biopsies, my little sister finally walked out of the hospital happy, healthy, and cancer free. And now, after 10 years of normal life, my parents found themselves back in the same place with a different child. I can imagine.
This new detail adds depth to the narrative, showing his family's history with life threatening challenges. It highlights their resilience and the unpredictability of life. The contrast between his sister's recovery and his own crisis illustrates how a single family can face multiple profound hardships. This context might play a significant role in how Clear later understands and explains the development of habits and coping mechanisms in the face of adversity. It's a poignant reminder of the ups and downs of life and the strength we find during tough times.
Yeah, exactly. It is just shocking to me. His little sister also faced the similar life-threatening moment. I mean, what like what what happened to his family, right? This is really
You have reached the
unfortunately.
message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.